Good evening, everyone. Imagine you're driving late at night after a long day. You finally see your house just a few minutes away when flashing red and blue lights suddenly appear behind you. Your heart starts racing and you pull over. A police officer walks up to you and asks you to get out of your vehicle. You don't know what you did wrong and you're scared because you don't know what's about to happen. The encounter becomes tense, and after it's over, you go home and tell your family your side of the story. The officer also writes a report explaining what happened, but the two stories are completely different. There are no witnesses, no video, and no proof. So how would anyone know what the truth actually is? According to the National Institute of Justice, police departments that use body cameras have just reported fewer complaints against officers while increasing accountability and transparency. My name is Leticia Zambone, and today I want to persuade you that police officers should be required to wear body cameras because they help uncover the truth, provide reliable evidence, and protect both the officer and the public. By the end of my speech, I hope you'll understand why body cameras are one of the most important tools in modern law enforcement. Today, I'll discuss three main points. First, address the three common misunderstandings about police body cameras. Second, I'll explain what research and statistics tell us about their effectiveness. And then I'll share two real-life cases and the consequences when body cameras are not used properly. Now that we've looked at why this topic matters, let's begin by talking about common misconceptions. The first misconception is that body cameras only protect police officers. In reality, they protect the civilians more. If an officer is falsely accused, body cameras can prove that they acted appropriately. If an officer behave improperly, which is usually what happens, the footage can also hold them accountable. Instead of relying on conflicting stories, investigations, they can watch closely what happened through the body camera. The National Institute of Justice also claims that body cameras provide objective evidence that increases accountability for both officers and civilians. As we can see, you can be using it in a courtroom. The second misconception is that body cameras are an invasion of privacy. Privacy is an important concern, but police departments have written policies explaining when officers should record and when they have stopped recording during certain sensitive situations, such as speaking with victims or responding to medical emergencies. According to the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, BWCs, which are body-worn cameras, those officers generally are required to keep their cameras recording during interactions with the public unless the policy allows otherwise or the public asks for it. The third misconception is that body cameras don't actually make a difference. Research has shown the opposite actually. Because interactions are recorded, both officers and civilians are often more respectful during the encounters. Video footage also becomes valuable evidence during investigations in court cases because it captures exactly what happened. Now that we've separated myths from the facts, let's take a look at what the research tells us. These two graphs compare citizen complaints and how it has decreased over the years. The blue is the complaints, and then over the years how they have decreased when they have adapted body cameras. Notice that complaints decrease after body cameras are implemented. Researchers believe that when people know that they're being recorded, they're more likely to perform in a more behavioral way. The graph also demonstrates another important point. Instead of relying only on witness statements or written reports, investigators can review the actual footage. This creates stronger evidence and makes investigation much more reliable than what they used to be. The University of Chicago has also found that body cameras improve transparency and can reduce complaints against police officers. The numbers clearly support the use of body cameras. Statistics alone don't always show why the issue matters so much. That's why I'd like to share two real-life examples. The first example is George Floyd. This is a story that was very publicized. In 2020, George Floyd died during an encounter with a police officer. Body camera footage, along with videos recorded by bystanders, showed exactly what happened during these final moments. Those recordings became critical evidence during the investigation and the trial. Without the footage, many important questions might have been unanswered, and the officer lied. Now compare that to Patrick Lyola. During his encounter with police, the officer's body camera suddenly stopped 42 seconds before they actually encountered. Before the fatal shooting, about 42 seconds of footage were missing because those final moments were never recorded. His family, the public, have been left with questions that will never be answered. Imagine if someone you loved lost their life during an encounter with the police and there was no video showing what truly happened. Imagine never knowing the complete truth because the camera that was supposed to record the incident was not recording. No family should ever have to live with that uncertainty. Body cameras cannot prevent every tragedy, but they can preserve the truth. They protect honest officers that hold people accountable when mistakes happen and provide families with the answers that they all deserve. Today, we discussed 3 important ideas. First, we corrected the common misconceptions that body cameras have. Second, we looked at research showing that body cameras improve accountability and transparency. Finally, we examined 2 real-life examples. I'd like to ask a question before I finish. How many of you are willing to speak up in support of stronger body camera policies in police departments? If that's too much to ask, then let me ask something smaller. How many of you would support requiring every police officer to keep their body camera recording during every investigation? If you would, that would be great. Body cameras are not perfect, but they are one of the best tools that we have to protect both law enforcement and the public. They help uncover the truth. Thank you.